Okay, so you know what, Rumbi? This is an interesting topic, and many a times one was they'll be like, John, how do we win? How do we get to achieve that place or to achieve that goal that we've always wanted to achieve in life? But now let's talk about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Okay, so why talk about Zimbabwe mainly? When you are reading my books or when you're listening to some other speakers from out there, they talk and share information based on things that are happening in their countries. But then for you, a person who's in Zimbabwe, who's in Africa, it's you can relate to a certain extent, but not to another extent, right? Because Zvaru share Kenya, it's from SA, but it's not from Zim. So for you to understand the economic trends in Zimbabwe and how it works in Zimbabwe, you need to be listening to a speaker who is from Zimbabwe, who has had influence and has been working around the circles around Zimbabwe, right? So, okay, as for me personally, I believe Zimbabwe is going well. Personally, I believe Zim is going well. And
okay.
Yes.
It's going well?
It's going well.
All right.
Okay, so why am I saying this? Okay, so, we have this tendency, which I've just discovered when it comes to people who are in Zimbabwe. We always have had a mindset of the negative part and the negative side of Zimbabwe, right? But if I ask you a question, all things being okay, right, or status paribus, right, we can say if you drive or go to Urungo Farmer, if you go to Semi-Levy, you will discover my feet, right? And just because I was going to Honda Fit, the only Honda Fit that you see Semi-Levy, in drive or Uber or taxi, right? But then you ask yourself, okay, if I'm not seeing any Honda Fit, Kunogoko, Semi-Levy, and then I'm seeing the latest cars, the latest brands, EcoGo, then who is driving those cars, right? Now, who is driving those cars? After also who's driving those cars, then you have to ask yourself, okay, what do they do for a living, right? And then most of us guys, we have this mindset, we believe everyone who has made it in life, they are one way linked to the big guys. But trust me, there are some other guys who are making it in Zimbabwe, but not even linked to the big guys, right? So life is all about how you see it. That's one thing I've understood about life. Life is all about how you see it. So if you see things to be hard, surely things will be hard. But if you see things to be okay, surely things will be okay, right? Because one way or the other, who has been struggling and trying to make things work and everything else, but because they have a positivity mindset, one way or the other, things are going to work well. Trust me, that person each and every day, they're waking themselves up with hope and trust. Okay, things are going to work well, and one day for sure things will work well. With no connection, with no what, but just believing it. Okay, in as much as things might be said, they are tough and everything else, but I'm just going to make it. That's how it is.
So it's a mindset issue. But beyond the mindset, okay, I also want us to talk about how important it is for you to actually then take action or have something going on. Because I can sit at home and say, you know what, Zimbabwe is wonderful. I've got a great mindset, but I'm not doing anything to for the mindset to meet with the reality of economic outcome. Or are we measuring it just in terms of my peace of mind and the way that I'm feeling? But ultimately, how do we connect that to your output and your productivity?
Okay.
And that kind of environment.
So it's not only a matter of just saying, okay, things are fine, right? But then you also have to do something, right? Because things might be fine for the economy or for the country, for the whole country, but you as an individual, it might not be fine, right? Because we have to understand there is what we call a personal economy and the national economy. So the personal economy, you as an individual, you are an economy, right? You have your own economy, you have your own GDP. Even when it comes to GDP, we have what we call GDP per capita. That means GDP per human being as an individual. Then we have the gross domestic product for the whole nation. So the GDP per capita is what contributes to the GDP for the whole nation. So you as an individual, things might be worse and tough for you, but for the whole nation, things being fine, right? So actions that need to be taken is when you've made up your mindset, you have to understand this thing, that for you to be successful in life, it's not about having huge, large amounts of money so that you start a business. It's not even about that. It's about your mindset. Mind you, we talked about this thing called, okay, money is a medium of exchange. That means for you to be having money, you need to be exchanging that thing that you have or that the results that you have so that you get money in return, right? As usual, Okay.
Okay, repeat that. Ipapap. I think yes. You said money is a medium of exchange.
Of exchange. That means for you to have money in your pocket, you just have to exchange something. It might be a product or a service. That means even if you're good with writing, exchange your writing skills in return for money. If you're good with speaking, exchange your speaking skills in return for money. Right? Okay. I have a book that I wrote, runs How to Win in Zimbabwe. Right? So this book, trust me, ndakarinyora ndine phone yanga ine screen yanga yakatsemuka zoti pandainyora bhuku iroro ndairotita screen like ndikutamba game rekaresu like so. But I managed to write that book and publish it with that same screen phone here. But I didn't limit myself kuti andina a laptop so that I can write this book. You see, I love it because this book actually is one of the best-selling books. But my books is until now, no book kutengwa. Right? So it's not all about us good to say, because the moment good life is when you go outside of the comfort zone. Right? Yes, I don't have a laptop to write the book, but I have a cell phone. One way or the other, another person is making money via WhatsApp. Trust me, that book that got things via WhatsApp, recently even having a hard copy. Really per WhatsApp. And it took me somewhere using that book. So whenever you think of an idea, make sure you're just exchanging something in return for money. And then you're good to go.
I like that. So this idea of you just getting money for nothing is a farce.
Nothing is for free. Rule number one for money, you exchange something so that you get money. Even when it comes to the devil, you exchange your soul so that you get money.
And even if you steal, you're exchanging.
You're exchanging, exactly. Because if you get arrested, you're going to be in jail for the sake of money.